Hi there, it's time to use the Wyckoff lens to look at ICP again. And if you're new to my sessions, here are the 3 key items that I will cover during the session. I have made a couple of changes. This is the weekly chart of ICP. So I've made the text larger. Later on I'll add in some other description to help you understand what those stages mean. So not how or like what their name is like. Not BC means buying climax, not those. What exactly mean in terms of the behavior of people trading in the market. So if you like this approach, or like this change that I made this text larger, so depending on what device you are watching my sessions, if it make it easier for you, let me know in the comments. So I'll keep this going forward, because I understand previously things are probably too small for you to read if you are watching on a mobile device. So I've made a couple of more changes here. I'll populate the rest after the session. I'm not going to waste your time. So back to the analysis. Here, currently the price is trading below the red key level of 4.52. We previously discussed there can be two scenarios playing out. I actually didn't tell you another one that I have ruled out. I'll let you know now what's that and why. So the yellow tags are what we covered previously, that it may be a very quick distribution, right after the spring, and then it quickly retraced back to further accumulation. It also kind of matched my sharing about this red declining trend line, from the previous peaks. I hope this is not the case. I hope this is only temporary. That later on, ICP price will be able to break above this. Okay, this is only for sharing with you what I observed. It doesn't mean it's going to be there forever. It's going to haunt ICP forever. It's not like that. So the other scenario that I've ruled out, and I didn't clearly talk about it because I don't think it is what it is that after the spring, this guy over here, this pump here, was a sign of strength. It looks crazy because it passed through 3 key levels after the orange key level that the previous 2 sign of strength did pass. So also another fact that the retracement, the volume of the retracement was so high that typically if the price is going further up, these volumes shouldn't be that high. So if it was a sign of strength and it comes back down for a backup or last point of support, this shouldn't look like this. So one example we can take a look at is back here in 2023. If you look at these retracements, those are very low volume compared to the previous sign of strength. It shouldn't be higher than the previous. So look at here. These 2 red bars are like 3-4 times higher than the previous sign of strengths. So that shouldn't be the case. Even here, this sign of strength, the retracements, they were lower than this volume bar. Even if they weren't, they're at most the same height. So that's why I've ruled out that scenario, that this shouldn't be a sign of strength and these shouldn't be the last point of support. So some people say, why there are 2 scenarios. It's kind of confusing. There's actually more than 2. I only share the 2 that I think it's potentially the case, and ruled out already the others that I have did some screening. So back to this point, what we are seeing here is that, okay, assuming this was really a very quick and disappointing distribution, it's not saying it's the end of the world. Okay, if it really comes down to a point that it quickly accumulates again, leading to another bigger distribution, that's I believe the supporters of ICP like yourself is hoping to see. So let's get to the daily chart and see why I say in the title that it's stabilizing. Over the course of past four days, including today, you see continuously low volume. Okay, from 22nd all the way to today. At least, if we just focus on the red volume bars, it has been declining. All right, very sharply. That's a good sign when it's red and if you want the price to go up. Okay, that means there are less people selling. These 3 days, the volume remains low. That means there are not a lot of people jumping in yet. There isn't any. What we hope to see is to get back for the volume to get back to at least the November 17th level, if not the November 6th, 7th, 8th. This one, November 4th, even though it's very tall, okay, it's not completely good because half of it is selling from above the orange key level, okay? So I would rather take the November 6th all the way to the 8th. Okay, those are good enough to continue to push the price up. As of this moment, people are still, if we look at the candlestick, they are like crosses. So meaning the bulls and the bears are rather equal strength. Okay, the candlestick's body is getting squeezed to a very narrow range with long head and tail wings. So that's people trying to push the price to either side, but then the other side has strong defense as well. Okay, the key resistance right now is the red key level 4.52. All right, today it kind of challenged or tried to challenge that level, currently being suppressed, pushing it back down to 4.32. Last week I talked about adjusting this uptrend channel box if it is really going through an uptrend with that amount of fluctuation. It's understandable. The market is highly uncertain right now. So even if a certain piece of asset tries to pump in price, it's going to suffer a lot of fluctuation. Especially crypto is still being considered a risky investment. So it's time to adjust it a little bit more. Assuming this is flattening out, all right, if this is really where the selling climax is after this period of falling, then this may well be the automatic rally. Okay? And then eventually there may be more tests coming. These are still question mark because we don't know how high the automatic rally would go, assuming that's the case. Again, this is the first scenario, okay? If it's a bit difficult, I apologize for that, but looking at a live chart, especially when it's daily chart, that Wyckoff method isn't designed for this. We are experimenting this, so if this is the scenario I'm talking about, there can be more tests coming that come back to challenge the long-term playground zone bottom around 3.6. So it's still far from where the spring was, okay? So hopefully it doesn't come back to the 2.8 level. And I also share this purple line over here. Remember, we have this level around 2.05. That was where the October 10th event tested. So I hope we never come back down to this point again. All right. If this uptrend, this upward channel, is really going to continue, yeah, that's quite a bit of adjustment. Because we've got only 3 reference points, so we have to do it this way. All right. I'm trying to make it as tight as possible with these 3 reference points, and if the price continues to trade within the next few days between this bottom edge and the red key level of 4.52, it will eventually get to near the tip of the triangle. By then, you already know, if you have been with me for a while, by the end of this month up till the first week of December, there's a decision point or trend change indicator showing us, is it going to the upside, continuing with this uptrend, or is it going to break this channel box that, it confirms that this channel box, is not relevant. We have to wait for a little bit longer. May it be trading sideways between the red and the white line, or the more pessimistic scenario, it comes back to the level where the spring was. Okay, that's 2.8 roughly. So 3 different scenarios: positive, neutral, and negative or pessimistic. So that's the time point that we're looking at. You may ask, hey, it seems like it's coming back down to the downtrend that previously was impacting ICP since July all the way till October, or even all the way into this month. Yes, it has re-entered that zone, and it can resume that, but I think after this period, especially after October 10th and the pump over here, this shouldn't be the same thing. I can keep it for a little longer, but just for our experiment purpose. If it really comes down, I believe we should treat it as a new trend. After all these fluctuations, it shouldn't be the same. Okay, that's all for now, I believe. Let's do a quick check in the weekly if I have missed anything. Okay, if this is really the distribution and it's going down for preliminary support and selling climax, one thing really I should share with you also, I think, if this is really such a quick distribution, these stages might have happened as well. Alright, it should be very packed if it really is such a squeezed cycle. This may not even exist. Alright, what we're going through now may well be the PS period. And the selling climax, I hope it doesn't go lower than the red dash line. So hopefully this, like what I shared before, if it's really like this one back in March all the way till May 2023, I hope it's going to be over soon, and even if it really comes back down to give us another shakeout, I hope the next big thing is near. Alright, it did happen 2 years ago. Let's hope for that it repeats again. I know the shapes aren't going to be exactly the same, but if the cycles are going to follow, this part, we waited for another roughly 5 to 6 months before this pump happened. But there will be signs. You see these volumes coming back, these white bars coming back. These are signs that these last point of support are going to be signs that's telling us the pump is near. If I enlarge these volume bars, you see a low period of red with increasing white. Alright, and then that's where it gets started. Right, those are the signs that we are looking for. No, it's not there yet. This white bar is impressive, but not healthy. It's more like the climax bars. Okay, both climax bars were high. These build-ups were low but steady across a couple of weeks. Okay, these are the signs. So that's why if you look back to my previous sessions, when people ask me, hey, is it going to pump further? I responded in the comment, I remember, that one step at a time. First look at the sign of strength, and if it continues, if volume support, then it will eventually happen. But if it doesn't, that's what it is. Remember, if we look at these through the Wyckoff lens, that means we believe there's a composite man or some big whales driving things. And they know what we know. Okay? Whether it's indicators, what kind of analysis you're using, whether it's candlestick, Elliott waves, Wyckoff, it doesn't matter. They are professionals. They know. Okay? And they can do whatever shake they do. Shake up, shake down, scare people away, and make their plans work. So it will never be the same. That we won't see exact same pattern. They are similar, but they won't be exactly the same. All right, and the market is basically different years over year as well, right? So thanks for joining me. Thanks for your support, ICP community. See you in the next video.